asking Vaishnavi questions. Says this meeting is being live streamed. We are ready. Excellent. So Vaishnavi, a very good morning to you in India. It is night time in US where I'm speaking from, and it's great to see your energy to this morning. Um, I know you get like only one weekend which you have to cover a lot of things. So we'll keep this meeting short and sweet. So, everyone, this meeting is about Vaishnavi's experiences with the DP 700 certification. She recently cleared the Fabric Data Engineer certification, and there were a lot of questions about, learning from her journey. So, Vaishnavi, are you ready for the first question? It's not an
Yes.
interview, by the way. It's just we're just having fun. Okay. So, Vaishnavi, there's a very funny opening question I noted down. It says, all of us when we are studying for a certification or for exam, we have to go away from normal mode into a focus mode, right? We have to be focused. We are preparing for an exam. So everybody has a different ritual. Some people like to study alone. Some people will talk to other people and they're practicing with other people. So what's your ritual?
Okay. One thing that I still find fault in me is my phone. And it was difficult when I started studying because these concepts, they're pretty overwhelming. What I do, I immediately pick up my phone and I scroll something. And that's how I get distracted. If I find something difficult, I'll pick up my phone. So my first ritual is to put my phone away under my dirty laundry so that I don't pick it up immediately. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, regarding your certification journey, like what was the very first thing you did when you learned you had passed the certification? Because you must have not slept couple nights. You must not have, you must have been very focused. So, what did the first thing you do when it said,
So
"Hey, the printout comes from"? Or sorry, these days the printer doesn't come. It comes only in the actual center. So in online thing, when you see you have passed, how do you feel?
So yeah, on Pearson View, there's what do you say, a moderator who's on camera, but you don't get to see them. But your face is on camera, your camera is on, you can see that. I clicked submit and they asked, "Are you sure?" So that dialog box pops up. I clicked OK. And then the next was, it was a very bland sentence. It said, "Hey, you passed the certification. Your score is this out of this." I'm like, okay, Vaishnavi, you should not act weird because there is someone at the end of at the other end. So let's just wait for 10 seconds for that light to turn off in my camera. Then I was just smiling at my, there's no one in the room, of course. So I was smiling at my system like a creep. Like, it was so creepy. I was like, smiling at the camera. And then right after it, I just did a little victory dance in my room. Like it was so weird and goofy. But yeah, that's what happened.
So everybody goes through a lot of during this journey. People go through laughter. Some people panic. Some people rethink about the method of preparation. What part of your journey made you smile or panic or rethink, or did you even go through these kind of emotions?
Yes, yes, no more sleepless nights. I my work starts at 6 a.m. So I was the last week I haven't slept at all. I would get 4 to 5 hours of sleep every day. That's and I have to work for 9 hours straight. Then I have to come back home. Then I have to read up on it. I was like, Vaishnavi, you have to stay. You have to stay. Just drink like 10 cups of coffee if you need. You have to stay awake. You have to learn this. Do not miss anything because I got a free voucher and I know how much that costs. Apart from that 5,000 rupees, I don't know if I'll be taking this exam again, if I will have the right time, maybe I will have other responsibilities. So there was a lot at stake here when I thought about losing this opportunity, or when I'm thinking about failing this exam, the cost was higher. So when I passed the exam, all those sleepless nights, all those hours at the office that I spent panicking because, hey, I'm working at the office right now. I could be studying at home. There were like a lot of confused states in different parts of my day. And now I'm like, I did it. I can sleep again. So that's how it felt. That was the first realization. Like, okay, I can sleep now.
Yeah,
I had a
I have written down some fun questions for you. So, what was the most unexpected thing you discovered while preparing for fabric? Whether it is about fabric or about yourself, most unexpected thing you discovered.
um that if I it's easy. I know this sounds very coming from me. It might sound like I'm on a high horse or something, but it is easy. Actually, when you learn with the concepts, I can actually learn something new. I thought learning something new was a challenge, and picking up new technologies and getting on whatever is in the trend is what I have to do. So there is pressure. There is also my insecurities and inhibitions that is saying you cannot pick up a new technology. You don't have direct experience. You lack experience. You know this technology, but how are you sure that you can learn this? So the first one that was addressed, like in a self-realization way, was if I can study, if I can put a certain amount of hours into and efforts into trying to understand something, I can actually do it because it is not that tech is difficult, and a lot of fabric ecosystem is a low code no code system. So you don't have to drill down into everything. You just have to understand, and it's not like memorizing, or it is not like studying hundreds of pages of a book. It is a different study methodology, and while it is challenging at first, I realized that I can actually do it. I am someone capable of taking upon new technology or new concepts, and I can relate to it and I can understand. And of course, a lot of the classes helped, but yeah, that was my self-realization that I'm capable of something.
Excellent. So, I'll just ask a couple questions about your experience and background. So, tell me a little bit about what originally pulled you into data and engineering as a field.
Yes, I was hoping that you would ask. So Fabric came like 2 years ago, right? Then I was working as a data scientist. I have also worked as a data analyst. Now I am focused on database DevOps. And so these experience that I have are very diversified. And Fabric sounded perfect because it just pulls together every experience that I have. I was just looking for that opening, looking for that push that would give me, hey, I have this experience, but I cannot apply it directly to my current role. I need an opportunity. I was looking for an opportunity. I was looking for a specific tailor-made job description that would, pull all my experience together. I want to shout out that, hey, I know this. I want to help, or I have this experience. I want to make sure that all of my experiences I was able to transfer to my job. I was able to give to someone or to an organization. Like I feel uh, some parts of me are underutilized when it comes to my career. And the fabric was just perfect. And if even if your skills are concentrated to just one part of the fabric ecosystem, you can expand very easily because fabric is like this one whole integration of services, and I could see it becoming the next uh, career step for me immediately as soon as I started learning about it.
Right. So, during this journey, did you have mentor or mentors or resources or a group that influenced you during the journey?
Of course, Sanjay Chandra, also known as Surya Kumar in the classes, helped a lot because when I started to learn, I could immediately understand the answers or the options that were laid out without going into the explanation because of the classes. I was doing these hands-on projects that I didn't realize had this much potential. While I was doing, of course, I knew that, hey, this project will help you in your job or this project will help you for interviews. But I did not realize that it could help me with the exams also, because these exams are scenario related, they are case related. And the projects that I did was sort of like an answer to the questions themselves. So I was going through the questions, I was going through the practice sets that MS Microsoft Learn platform has. All of these questions, I've already done this, I've already answered this as part of my projects. And I still have a considerable amount of projects that I need to get through at the class. So that's a different topic. But yeah, so these classes and what I have learned from my mentor, Surya Kumar, it's been super
Can you,
helpful.
yeah, since you spoke about projects, can you give us a, I know that in the classes you did a lot of case studies, and I want to understand how these case studies were helpful, and can you give us a glimpse? Like you don't have to describe everything, just give us a glimpse of the type of projects you started or you put on the showcase.
Yes. So a typical data life cycle is data origins at somewhere, and then you take it to somewhere, you process it in another place, and then at the end analytics is in some other place or some other tech or some other organization. Or these parts of a data life cycle are segregated into different compartments, and they're often taken upon by different people, different organizations. Sometimes they outsource it. A lot of these are separated, and they are all over the place. So with these projects and with Fabric specifically, I was taught how to bring the data from the origin, like the source, and directly into somewhere where you can work with it in a format that you're comfortable with. So it the lakehouse architecture, it accommodates different structures of data, right? So the first
Mm.
project was to bring the data from somewhere. There's a source, you got to bring in the data. So that was my first project. The second was processing the data. Like the we learn about medallion architectures, we learn about different levels of processing. We also learn about the end process where it's analytics or it goes into some sort of application. So the second part was the data transformation and formatting and making that data to be useful for something. So that was the second part. But it was not just one project. Even in the second part, there will be two or three projects, or you will use the same methodology in another project. You will club it with something, and then you will get to another answer. So it's like a branch where it starts with the data ingestion, and then there's different parts of data processing, and then
Could you,
at the end there are still more branches where there are different analytics or application uses that you put into. So for each stage, for each branch, each path, we have a separate project, and that's how it brings the whole Fabric experience together. That's how I built my projects.
fantastic. So you basically had many case studies that you did. Could you take a minute to go to your Wix website and just show it to us on the screen, just for a
Yes,
second? We don't have to describe each one of them. Just give us a glimpse on,
I have my portfolio website, but I made it in Google Sites actually.
got you.
Mm, okay, let me pull it up. Then click share. Excuse me. Okay, is it
So
visible
basically,
now?
you're saying because of doing all these projects, the certification itself became easier for you because
Yeah,
you had hands-on experience with everything.
100%. It cut down my preparation time actually.
Got you.
I can just if I go through the questions one by one, I can pinpoint the exact case study that I've done or the part of the case study that I had done and map it right to the question answer. And we also had theory questions, theory classes. So it's not just projects or it's not just the process that you're familiar with. You're also familiar with the background of it, the theoretical part of it. So the classes helped 100%. I mean, it would
Gotcha.
have taken me thrice the time to make myself familiar with the whole fabric platform if it hadn't been for the projects. So as you can see, this is my home page. A lot of work needs to be done because we still have classes left. I'm still buying time to finish this website, but hopefully I'll get it done as I finish the class as well. So this is my home page, and there's a small segment for my introduction. I'm Vaishnavi, and how I can help you session so that I can offer services. I bring forth my skills and my capabilities, and then here's a short uh, blurb of what I do. And this is different from this. This is from the perspective of what I can offer to you. And this is from the perspective of, hey, I can do this sort of way.
So I can
And
see a projects page and the blouse page. What is that about?
yeah,
So this is where basically you are storing all the after you doing those case studies, those mini projects, you are putting it up with the with like the diagrams and everything, which you
yeah,
can explain to people.
yeah. So this is project home, still work in progress, but I have 4 projects listed here
Yeah,
next.
yeah. Thank you. I mean, this is I just wanted to show people a glimpse. So thank you for. It's very colorful and very organized. I can see, and this is
Oh,
what interviews like.
yeah, and you know how interviews ask for that star format, right? So
Correct.
I designed it into this. So there's a problem. So what is the goal and what is the implementation and what I have done, and I've added the screenshots to it. So and from the project itself, or if you
So
have
this
GitHub code,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is excellent. This is a wonderful work, and it kind of shows how organized you are. So, thank you for sharing this, Vaishnavi. At this time, I would like to open the floor to audience who wants to, who if they have any questions on like DP 700, your preparation, or anything about the DP 700, they can go ahead and ask you. So we have Sai, Salman, Suresh, Bhardwaj, anybody, Akhil. Guys, this is your time. I want to have this meeting short and sweet so that I can introduce Vaishnavi and we can learn from her experience.
Hi Vaishnavi, hi Evan.
Hi,
Uh,
Bharat.
what are the focused areas for to do for attempting this examination DP 700?
Oh.
Mainly
Um,
focused areas.
Mainly focused. Okay, there's no main focus as in doesn't test you with one capability of Fabric. So it talks about data ingestion, so the lakehouse and warehouse, then data processing, where it is data flow, PySpark, and Spark SQL. So that's for processing, and then dashboard models and analytics. So if I had to bring it under 3 major services, this would be the breakdown.
Okay, Vaishnavi, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I Pawan, go ahead.
Hey Vaishnavi, firstly, many congratulations on your recent achievement.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I have two questions. First question is, most of the times we all try to prepare, but we don't prepare with quality. So, we would like to hear from you, how was your preparation, the quality of your preparation, because sometimes tend to spend more time, but we forget the quality. Sometimes people who spend less time with more quality achieve more. So we would like to hear from you as to how was your quality of preparation and what are some of the strategies that you followed for this exam.
Okay. The first one would be to go through the documentation. There's Learn modules, not the documentation, sorry. Microsoft Learn has these modules. They have a specific path, a learning path tailored to tackle this exam. It starts with a very basic, it introduces you to the lakehouse architecture and the Delta Lake essentials. And in that, at the end of every lesson or every module, you will have a practice session. and you have the fabric trial for 60 days. You can take the fabric trial and you can go through the assignment questions at the end of the learning modules, and you can execute the project. And that is how you retain the concepts that you've learned in the modules, because it is very easy to just read it and understand it and think like, hey, I've understood this, so this must be easy, I can just answer whatever question that comes from it. But when you actually try to implement the assignments in the fabric ecosystem, you will encounter problems. You would have done the exact steps, you would have made sure that every step is just replicated in your own project, but still you will have issues. Even with my classes, even with my projects, even what my mentor was saying the entire time, I would follow step by step, but still there would be issues, there would be mistakes from my side that you would not notice. When you address those mistakes, when you are able to rectify them, that is how you learn. By practical implementation is very important when it comes to fabric. I can vouch for that. And from the practical experiences, from the mistakes that you make, from the implementation, that is how you familiarize yourself with the fabric platform. So that goes in for quality. And then resources, of course, you have the documentation, you have the resources, and you have the practice test. You have to take them. And it's not just when you're taking the questions, you should not just learn about the right answers, you should also learn why the rest of the answers are wrong, because that is how you build your knowledge. Because the questions, they are not often the same. The questions could be different. Say you will have the same question in the practice test, or you would have learned the question, but in the exam they will ask you in a way that the where you will have to justify the wrong answers also. Even if you know the right answer, there will be scenarios where the wrong answer needs to be justified. And that when you make mistakes, you have to address them and learn from them. And the second point is you have to learn why the wrong answers are wrong. So that is how you build quality with your preparation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any questions?
Salman, Bhardwaj, Suresh, anyone?
I could ask one more question. So sometimes, there is a debate or at least a discussion between learning it linearly versus non-linearly. Like, what do you recommend when someone is preparing for this exam? Should we directly jump into implementing the projects and then learning the concepts, or should we follow any roadmaps or any topic by topic situations and then complete each and every topic? What is the easy strategy or most comfortable strategy to crack this exam?
Non-linear. Thank you for asking. I wanted to share this. There are two parts to your question. One is linear, non-linear, and that is different from going step by step. Step by step is the methodology. You have to learn about injection, you have to learn about transformation, and then you have to learn about analytics. That is the step by step. There is no contradictions in that. But when it comes to linear or non-linear, always go with non-linear, because only through implementation you will learn the actual technology. I can go sit through 100 pages in the next 4 hours. I will sit through. I can read. I'm someone who can read. But even as someone who likes reading, who likes the books kind of setup for my learning, I I would definitely go with implementation when picking up this, because only then you will be able to map what you've learned to what you've read. And sometimes the reading is just not enough. There are too many options on the screen, and when you're reading you only get to read about what the focus of the lesson or that particular snippet of a review is. But when you're implementing, you have all these buttons, you have all these features that you want to make sure that you understand, because some features are by default enabled, and some features are you need to enable on your own to get the right answer, but they will not have talked about this in the documentation or in the lesson. Only through learning about those things on your own and through projects, you will come to learn about what MS Fabric is all about. And it happens with my class also. we even with the project, sometimes I have to explore some of the options, some of the features by myself, and I go do it, because that would be the make or break of the project execution. If I'm digressing a little bit and I wanted my own output to be different, I'm forced to explore those options, and that has helped me a lot. So go with the non-linear way, go with the projects, make mistakes, come back to the documentation later, come back to the learned concepts later, then familiarize yourself with the theory. Maybe a little theory would help if you have absolutely no knowledge about what you're working, but when it comes to learning about it specifically, you have to fall down and get up and then go back to the theory. I hope that answers.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
Vaishnavi, since we covered in the seminar probably last week, we had covered all about DP 600 and 700, the duration, the types of questions asked. We did a very intensive one on that. So if anybody wants to anybody that's new that wants to understand what kind of questions, I think Sanjay covered it very well when he described the kind of questions, and it was done through a great slide presentation as well. So I'm not going to the depth of that kind of stuff, duration, types of questions, etc. Um, one of the, the I had an opportunity to talk to Nilay. He's one of the leads from Calcutta, and he's a great senior analyst who's also a Fabrics Analytics data engineer. He works for a great MNC, and I like couple things about his way of studying. Nilay, is it you here in the audience?
Yes, yes, sir.
Nilay, one of the things that I liked about you, which I want to bring up, was you prepare, for every topic you prepare a set of questions, and then you have a very unique method of study. Could you also talk a little bit about what's your unique method of study that you follow? I think you do something with the forms or something like that. Help me understand that.
Actually, this is started when in my graduation time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I used to collect questions from the question banks. Okay, and I always used to see the patterns, that which questions,
Right.
which set of questions are repeated when, and so usually I collect questions, and I used to create forms. That time I did not have any laptop or something. I'm talking about 2012.
Okay,
So
so
that
these were
time,
so these were like forms on paper.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I
Wow.
used to create questions, and I used to create 3 to 4 sets of questions with shuffling the orders. Okay, and I used to
Very good.
we used to do the Xerox and all. So as you know, I am from BA, Bachelor of Arts. Okay,
Right.
so uh, I joined when I got English honors in my college, but I left that because I don't want to get into too much on the literature. So that time my father passed away, and I was doing distance. I was doing BCA from a distance university, which is not that feasible. So people
Okay.
suggested me that you should join a full-time graduation, so that will be more valuable for you. So I got English honors, and I left that English honors, and I just did a normal graduation. So that time I was struggling with Sanskrit. Okay. So my subject was English, Bengali, and Sanskrit. I was really struggling. So so I decided which I don't like first time in my life I failed in second year. Okay, but that time but I did not lose any year actually, because after giving the final year exam I had three months of time to prepare for that exam, to cover up. So that time I
Mm.
realized I have to build a strategy. This is not how I'm going to pass this exam, because I don't know. I'm not expert in Sanskrit actually. So I bring question banks and I prepare those kind of questions. Then I started practicing, which I did for the third year as well, like the final year. So I got very good marks actually. The pattern repeated, and I prepared
So
that.
the process you started back then on paper, you just
Yeah,
digitalized it, and you are using Google Forms.
yeah,
Whatever questions you can get in the quizzes or in the practice assessments or exercises, where you
yes,
combine them and to shuffle them, and prepare your own, and Sanjay was telling us about Anki, where he creates flashcards and kind of uses that method to remember everything through flashcards, and he keeps shuffling them so it helps. And many people have followed it. That helps as well.
Because you can check your progress that how much you are getting, so you will get confident as well, right? So before an exam,
Fantastic.
I'm already giving an exam. So this is my method, and this is not quality.
Excellent.
This is just
Because
strategy.
I know we had I can't remember. I think we did a seminar with you. You cleared your 600
Yeah.
sometime back. That's pretty interesting.
And one more
So
important thing that if you try to collect questions and give the practice assessment, you will get to know that what kind of questions they can give, right?
right. So that way also you can check out what kind of gaps you have. So all
Hmm.
right. So thank you, Nilay, for saying that. Back to Vaishnavi.
Right, yeah.
Suresh has a question, Vaishnavi.
Yes, Suresh, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Vaishnavi, hi Arun. So congratulate for your recent certification. And I have a question related to fabric learning. As currently I'm working as a database developer and I have knowledge of SQL and PLSQL. So just wanted to ask, is that enough to start learning fabric, or should I learn other thing like Power BI and ADF pipeline and PassPath as well?
Yeah, I saw in the group some other people are asking this. No, the basic Excel or SQL basics is enough to learn Fabric. You don't have to go through you don't have to be a master of SQL to do that, or you don't have to be a master of Power BI. Power BI, I mean, of course, it's a part of the Fabric platform, and how we are teaching is we are having in the course we are covering specific sections of Power BI as well. So we have lectures on that. But no, you don't need to. We expect that you don't need to know a lot of Power BI. See, Power BI in general comes at the very end. So Power BI is the visualization part only, and the course is being taught in such a way that you learn, like Vaishnavi was talking about, like basic steps. So you learn about the working behind it. Visualization, think of it as a front end, and the entire back end is all the work that you do to ingest the data, clean it, get it ready, transform it, and then the medallion architecture they were talking about. So Power BI is just a very small part of this entire course.
Yes. And to add on to that, you being a database developer actually helps you to understand the concepts better. A lot of database concepts are easily reflected towards the Fabric platform. And no, you don't need to have a full knowledge about ADF also. Fabric in itself is its own has its own architecture and ecosystem. So your database development experience actually helps you.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Because many
Yeah.
people think that unless I know Python or SQL or Power BI, I'm a master of it, I cannot go for Fabric. And that is absurd. You can directly go for it.
That's actually a
Although,
misconception.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Arun.
Eh,
Thanks, Vaishnavi, for the clarification. Thank you so much.
Sure.
No,
Next up, we have
you need to think
Akhil.
about it like I have to shift my database skill on premise to cloud. That's it.
Yes, exactly. That is very well put.
Wow, I love it. That was very simplified way of saying the right thing. Akhil,
Yeah. First of all, congratulations, Vaishnavi, for your
Thank
certification.
you.
Uh, my question lies is like, I had two certifications here, right? DP 600 and 700. So being from reporting background, I wanted to understand like, which one should go first, DP 600 or 700, and what exactly is the difference between both of the certification.
this is my
Arun,
favorite question.
Arun, you have to answer this.
No, 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 no. I'll let you do that, or I have delay to help me. I am retiring from all these answering questions now because so Akhil, we have written a wonderful article on this. I think I posted it twice. Maybe you joined later on the areas
Yeah.
of so typically I would say I see whenever I have to do something, I don't think of titles. Analytics
Mm-hmm.
engineer or reporting engineer or something, some other engineer or data. To me, I look at the ecosystem and the knowledge of how much knowledge about the ecosystem I have. And then whenever I apply for a job or the industry is looking for me, I tell them that, hey, I don't care what titles you slot me under. I have the ability to scale up or scale down based upon your requirements. Whatever is it that you call it, whatever label you give it, I don't care. But to answer your question, if you're into reporting, I would acquire the knowledge first because the knowledge uh, lets you very easily do analytics engineer. But we took it one level higher, couple levels higher, and we are completing the entire data engineering course with all its nuances. Nilay has just done as a part of data. He's a fabrics analytics engineer. He does a lot of data analysis. So I would love to hear Nilay's words of wisdom on this. Nilay, what do you think? Because whenever somebody asks a question, let's give them different perspectives.
Yes,
So
yes,
go
yes.
ahead,
And one
Nilay.
more thing, I
Yeah.
want Nilay to answer especially because I know he's preparing for DP 700 and he's taken the DP 600. So he knows exactly how the preparation, how the that process differs. So I
Thank
want
you for
Nilay to answer.
spilling. Thank you for
Uh,
spilling the
can
beans.
can you repeat the question because I was lost a little bit actually.
Okay, so Nilay, this is treat this as a question. So
Yeah.
we have DP 600, we have DP 700, popular certificates. Now you have taken DP 600, and I know
Mm,
that you're preparing for DP 700. So what is the difference? What when someone is studying for two different exams and you've studied for both the exams, how is
mm,
it different? And let's forget about the target roles. Those titles can
mm.
be confusing, but what is the ground level difference between these two exams as a writer, exam writer?
Yeah. So this is a little bit. I will explain in a layman terms. So when you are coming from a BI background or data analytics background, okay, and you are trying to learn data engineering, okay, that time you are not learning the core data engineering. You are just learning a few basic ETL process and how to use analytics endpoint and how to create semantic model and like that. So you are a half-baked data engineering knowledge with full BI knowledge, and you become a analytics engineer. And now this is what is called DP 600. And when you are gonna solely focus on data engineering, not the BI part. Your just job is limited to the data engineering part, like getting the data, transforming that, save it in a Mendelian architecture, like uh, gold layer or silver layer. So that is only the data engineering part. That is basically the DP 700 focuses on. So this is the basic understanding. The DP 600 is a blend of half data engineering role and full BI role, and DP 700 is totally data engineering role, not BI role. So you will not get the Power BI kind of questions there.
And
Okay, you will get
Singla,
the back end.
yeah, guys, look at the article. I think Parul Singla wrote it recently. She has described it very well. If you don't follow Parul, please follow Parul Singla. She has written a wonderful article on this couple. I think last week she wrote it, or maybe this week. So yeah, so broadly, I think what Nila has described as is excellent in layman's terms. But like I said, don't don't put boundaries around you. You should go ahead for the knowledge first, right? And then decide, hey, I want to remain in analytics side more, or depending upon the company requirements, I want to remain in the analytics side, analytics engineering more, semantic models and all those kind of things, or do I want to do um, the full-fledged engineering part.
Got you. Thanks, Arun. Thanks, Vaishnavi and Elias.
Also after this data engineering, I'm very interested to learn Power Platform as well. Because it is not like I want to get the full stack, because I can see a clear ecosystem based on that. Because I use Power Automate, not Power Platform, but I mostly use Power Automate
Yeah,
and Fabric. Okay, so and one more thing, Arun, you sent me one video regarding the Amazon CEO or someone like not CEO, is a very senior person. He said a very good thing, actually very good statement, and it's a diplomatic statement. Okay, but it is a kind of truth that your career is important for you. If it is not important for your company, then leave that company. Okay, you want to become a data engineer, but your company is still using some Tableau and other old legacy stuff. They are like Oracle or something. You should leave.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good point to put. So I want to focus us back on the topic, and I think, uh, yeah, basically do both is the easy short answer. Um, does somebody else have any other question, guys? So, guys, when we are in a group, a lot of times when you're learning in a group and everybody else is motivated to learn along with you and they are partnering with you on projects, you learn faster, you learn in a structured way. And if you learn through case studies, you're learning real life problem solving. So we always, that's our method of teaching in the COE as well. Um, by the way, the classes I think we have, they're starting Uh, on the 30th, we are giving a short orientation, and very quickly after that, within the first week, we'll start the classes. So, for anybody that be listening to this recording later on, if you haven't reached out to us, if you have any pending questions remaining before you join, ask now, because otherwise once we close the batch we'll close it for another the next whenever the next batch comes, you'll have to join that. We'll not take in any more admissions. um, and all the information again is on cloudvista360.com. If you ask any member of the MS Fabrics, Microsoft Fabrics COE, anybody in the group should be able to share the brochure with you. It has been posted multiple times. There have been many articles that have been posted, which answers pretty much every kind of question. But feel free to reach out to me as well. I can directly answer most of your questions. Um, just post it in the group and it'll reach me one way or the other. We have Nilay. Nilay has been posting, he's been very active in posting a lot of quiz kind of questions. And Nilay is very good in answering questions you may have. You can also reach out to Vaishnavi. So basically, I mean, there are many people to help out. There's also Prachi. There are many people. I don't want to name a lot, everybody here. But regarding the course, start dates, questions, I'm available. But don't delay, because action is what's important. Thinking about it, we can think about it for the entire year. Just like I decide to, either lose weight or gain weight in a particular year. And sometimes, without taking an action, an entire year passes by and you realize, oh, I didn't do anything this year. All that I did was thinking and sleeping. Uh, all right. Thank you, Vaishnavi, for being here. I think all other questions we can answer in the group, but thank you so much for taking the time. And you have described it very clearly, Vaishnavi, very well, very clear. And I'm sure there are people who might reach out to you for mentoring, for they want to travel the path like yours. So. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Nilay, as well. Prem Sai, thank you for organizing this.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.